everyone, my name is Trisha and I am one of your admins on PLL, and I will be doing this week's Ask an Admin. So I got quite a few questions here. Before I begin, I would like to apologize in advance for if I pronounce anyone's name wrong. I'm very sorry. I am horrible with that. The first question is from Aaron, one of our admins, but I'm going to be doing that last. Haha, Aaron. I'm going to be doing that last because it is the hardest question. So, yes. The next question is from Georgia. She's also one of our admins, and she did last week's Ask an Admin. So, she asked, who is your top A suspect? My top A suspect is Charles. I say that because I think that, we are going into the We're going into the 6th season now, starting in June, so I don't think they're going to mess with our minds as much. I think that they're going to finally puzzle piece everything together, and I hope that if Charles is A, that they make it a good, I think the whys and the hows and all the questions are going to be answered, and I hope that turns out to be a good story. Stephanie asked, who's your favorite out of the PLL girls? My favorite would definitely have to be Mona. I've loved her character from the beginning, even though she was kind of mean. And I love her different personalities, and she's just awesome. She also asked, who would you like to be A? Toby and Arya. I think that I've seen a lot of theories on them, and I think that they would make very great A's. I'm not so sure about Arya's motive, though. I don't know what her motive would be, but I do think that Toby definitely does or would have a good motive if he was A. I would love him to be A. Sidra, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, asked, which couple would you like to see married in the next season? Arya and Ezra. I would love to see them married. If they didn't get married, I would probably want Caleb and Hannah to get married. Next question. Hamza asked, what is your favorite scene ever? Only one. Okay, this is definitely a hard question. It would probably be in New York when Allie came back, was deciding to go back to Rosewood, and the rooftop when Hannah was like, take off your mask now and grab the gun. That was totally awesome, and it was so suspenseful. I loved it. And also, will there be a new love interest for Emily? There's always new love interest for Emily. Aaron mentioned that Paige will be coming back in season 6, which I don't really like Paige, so but I definitely think that there could be a new love interest for Emily. I hope so. I love Emily. Rosa asked, do you think Black Veil is good or evil? I think Black Veil is evil. The reason I say that is because in one of the episodes, I'm not really sure which one, but I do recall seeing the Black Veil mask in one of A's layers. So I definitely think that Black Veil is evil. Also, who would you like to play on the show? I would love to play Mona. I love all of her different personalities, like I said, and I've always wanted to act. I love acting, so it would be really fun acting as Mona. I would love it. Very good questions. She also asked, do you trust anything Marlene says? Wow. I used to. A lot of people say she's a big fat liar, but I think, I'm hoping that her previous interviews aren't lies, but I used to believe her, but I really don't want to anymore. But some of the things that she says are probably twisted up and white lies. So I want to, but not all the time. Chanel asked, who do you think is dead in the barrel? That's also a good question. I have no clue who is dead in the barrel, to be honest. I think that before I found out from Aaron that Paige is going to be in the 6th season, I thought it was going to be her because, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that Paige and Emily were fighting around the time of the barrel was oh my god, who's in the barrel, I definitely think that they were fighting around the time that was brought up. So I think that it would be possible that Paige was in the barrel, but she can't be because she's coming back. So I really have no clue who's in the barrel. Excuse me if I pronounce this wrong. Rafaela asked, do you think Charles is someone we've seen before in the show or a completely new character? I definitely think Charles is someone we've seen before in the show. I don't think that they would make him a new character, but I've heard that I've seen a few theories that he is a new character, and I'm not really so sure. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know why they would make someone that we do not know. So I think that we definitely seen Charles before. Maria asked, what is your theory about Charles? I don't really have a specific theory about him. I mean, I definitely think that he knows Bethany. I definitely think that he's had a horrible childhood, and that's the reason he plays with dolls and toys and such, is because he didn't really have much control over his childhood, so therefore that makes him want to control his dolls, and then that's how, and that kind of also ties the human dollhouse into that. And I think that he's definitely crazy, like psychotic crazy, if he turns out to be legit uber big A, whatever. Amber asked, do you think Ezra is involved? That is a good question. I think Ezra, my foot is getting sleepy. I think Ezra could definitely be involved. He definitely seems shady with Arya and the book and the lair and the cabin and all that. I wasn't really too sure. I wasn't really too sure about him, but I think that it's possible that he could be involved because in one of the episodes he called Allie his Holly. So that also makes him really suspicious. Michelle asked, who would you like to bring back to life? I would like to bring Maya back to life. I would love to see how her character plays out, and I would love to see where she fits in the story. Amanda asked, do you have a theory of Lucas being a Charles, and if so, what is it? I don't really have a theory of Lucas being Charles, but I've definitely heard it before. I think that they both have similarities, but I think Lucas is not in the show enough to be Charles. But I do think that if he turned out to be Charles, it could be a good plot. But I'm not too sure. Kayla asked, who do you think is Varjak? I think Ezra could be Varjak. Because of the whole Holly Varjak thing that I just mentioned, I think that it could possibly be Ezra. Also, people say that A is Varjak, or Varjak is A, whatever. I think that could be possible too, but it's just hard for me to figure this all out and to think, oh, maybe, you know, I'm just not sure. My brain is totally scattered today. Who do you think Charles could be? That's a really hard question. I am not too sure who Charles could be. Charles could be, see, I'm not positive because they say that there's so many clues and theories, but there are puzzle pieces just missing that we need to have to be able to figure this out. And it makes me so angry. It's just, so I'm sorry if that didn't fit your standards. Excuse me if I pronounce this wrong. Gurjat asked, if you were in the same situation as the girls from the very start, how would you handle things differently? I would definitely handle things differently. I would probably tell someone, like my parent, about A, and probably the cops too, no matter what. But then, all those bad things that happened to the girls might, or still might have happened. I don't know. They also asked, do you also think Maya is alive, and how does she play into things? I definitely think that she could be alive. I'm not for sure because I am not associated with ABC Family, but I really do hope she's alive. Also, which two people do you wish ended up to be a couple that never did? Hannah and Travis. I love Hannah and Travis. You guys might be mad at me, but when Caleb went to Ravenswood, I was kind of really mad at him, and I didn't really like him as much around that time, and so after he left, I definitely loved Travis, and I wanted them to be a couple. I was kind of mad when he came back, but it is what it is, right? Sorry if I pronounced this wrong. Yanira asked, what do you think about Mona being alive? I like that Mona was alive. I never really thought she was dead. I think that she is trying to help the girls, and I really do think that she wants to be their friend again. Well, they weren't really friends, but I really do think that she wants to be friends. And how would you solve this situation if you were one of the girls in the dollhouse? Wow, I would definitely jump on Charles when Arya snapped the picture of the camera, and I would take off his mask and figure out who Charles is. It would definitely save me a lot of trouble. Ansley, so I don't know if I pronounced that right, asked, do you think Charles is Jason's twin? I definitely think that he could be Jason's twin. I've heard that he's not, but I think that it's possible. How would you like things to end with A when the series comes to an end? In jail? Dead? Happy again? A has done so many rude things. Not rude, more like evil. But I definitely would like them to suffer in jail or die, which sounds kind of bad, but they've done so many bad things, it's just not acceptable. And which character or characters would you be absolutely pissed if they turn out to be A? I'll be absolutely pissed if an irrelevant character turned out to be A. I think that, yeah, I would be really mad. I would be mad if somebody like Ben Emily's old boyfriend, or Holden, or Ren, definitely. Even though he seems very, very shady, I would be mad if it was him. I mean, I'd be mad if it was Lucas too, because, I mean, they're not really in the show that much, so it wouldn't really make sense to me. These are all very good questions, by the way. She also asked, how do you think Bethany is involved? Jeez, I don't know how Bethany is involved. I do think that Bethany met Charles and Radley, and they grew to be very good friends, and then she eventually figured out that Charles is Jessica's son that she got rid of, and / Allie's mom, and so she turned out to hate Allie and Jessica. Gerja and Ansley both ask 3 guesses who the returning dead girl is. My 3 guesses are Maya, Bethany, or Sarah. Justine said, I thought Mona knew who A was before her fake death. Did she make that up to get the girls over? That's a really good point. But, when she was talking with Mike in her room, she mentioned that she did not know who A was. She also mentioned that she was going to go away for some time and try to figure out who A is and then come back. So I don't think that she knows who A is. She just said Allison because she tried to pin her murder on Allison. Hannah asked, are we going to see any characters that were dead, like Maya? I'm not too positive. I mean, that's what Marlene King said, but I'm not so sure. Oh, actually, that is the end of all the questions except for Aaron's. He has 2 of them. One of them I did not write down, so hold on one second. He said, rumor has it that Marlene is going to introduce a gay male character. Do you feel that Charles is that character? Who will be his mate? Yeah, I think that Charles, I think that it's really possible that Charles can be gay. I'm not so sure though. Who will be his mate? Jeez, that's a good question. I think his mate will be like Lucas. Sounds bad, but like Lucas or somebody dead, maybe who, I don't know, somebody dead who's not actually dead, like Ian or someone. That's a good question, but I don't know. Maybe no one loves Charles and doesn't want to be his mate. He also asked, Marlene tells you that you have to pick one of the main 4 liars to die, and it has to be a betrayal. Who would you pick and why? Okay, I did this one last because it is the hardest. I put a lot of thought into it, but I'm not really, I don't know if, I think that so many people would hate me if this actually happened, but I would probably choose Arya to die. That's if she doesn't turn out to be like a whole bunch of people think she is. I would probably choose Arya to die, because she definitely is a shady character, and I've never really understood why. I never really understood her and Allison's relationship. I mean, the the 3 other girls, you know, Spencer and her were very competitive. She always called Hannah fat. And Emily was in love with her. So, I don't know. I think that I would probably choose Aria. Thank you guys for listening to all my answers, and thank you guys for asking me these questions. It was really fun, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.